Hello everyone, it's your favorite girl Imanse. This is another exciting episode of In Style We Trust. Today I have a beautiful young lady, Ronke Adeola. She's a filmmaker, contributing writer to Guardian, and also style connoisseur in my opinion. We're going to kind of dabble in on the topic of trends. When I say trends, I mean kind of following what's hot at the moment. Like, is it good to follow what's hot at the moment? Is it good to kind of remain very classic and original? Or is it good to, like, I don't know, do whatever the heck you want? I hope you guys are going to enjoy this, fabulous episode, and help me welcome my beautiful guest. Hi, Ronke.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm a little nervous. I'm not used to these interviews. So.
Don't be. We're girls now, so
cool.
We'll just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you did a pretty good job. I'm a writer. I consider myself an emerging filmmaker. I'm in any way.
I know ex-banker. I forgot to add ex-banker.
Throw that away. No.
Everyone knows that you're, smarty pants.
Some people would disagree, but yes, I'm an emerging filmmaker. I've been working on a documentary since last year.
Okay.
It should be out sort of end of the third quarter.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait.
Thank you. And yes, I'm a contributing writer for The Guardian on culture and gender politics.
Okay, perfect. Wait, you know what? Let's actually talk about that. That sounds really interesting. So what do you kind of contribute on, or what are the things you talk about on gender and politics?
Well, so far it's been mostly culture to Guardian Life. And I've been doing a lot of interviews. So the first interview I did was with Ronke Adeola, and I think that went quite well. We're discussing her views on fashion and design and gender. So it was really it was great sort of doing the interview, and I've known her for quite some time. And in terms of contributing to The Guardian, so I want to talk about feminism and Islam. I want to talk about because 50% of Nigeria, they're Muslim, and we always sort of look at Islam in a really dark, it's either they're terrorists or, so I wanted to just explore what that meant. What does feminism mean to Muslims? How does it manifest there? So that's going to be my first piece, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so are there any positive sides to what you've explored? Because unfortunately, there's still a lot of bombings in Kano, Kaduna, all these things. So what are the positive sides of kind of exploring Islam gender?
Well, essentially, Islam, there are over 1 billion, Muslims in the world, and there's so many narratives within Islam, right? So of course, I think the issues with the North isn't necessarily a religious issue. I think it's more about poverty and a lack of education as opposed to the religion. I think they just happen to be Muslims, but whenever there's, extreme poverty and instability, there's going to be a lot of insurgency and things like that. But in terms of, what is, I think your question is, what is sort of the bright side?
The good side, the upside, because everyone always is, I think we've come to a dark conclusion about, those topics, but, Well,
I think one thing that people sort of, don't, if you're not familiar with the religion, and funnily enough, I'm not a Muslim myself, but I just, it's something that I find interesting. I find different religions and different points of views interesting. Is that it's a religion that, in order to be a Muslim, you have to be able to read. So the view about Muslims not being very progressive and not being very forward thinking, it's not true. That's a very unfair stereotype, and both men and women have to be able to read the Quran. You have to be able to read Arabic, so there's so many things. I don't want to go too into it because obviously it's Friday, it's fashion. But thanks for
I wanted to talk about that because I know it's style, but then look,
we're in the world, right?
Yeah, we're in the world. I'm really talking about anything.
Yes.
So, what do you think about trends? Are you a trend follower or you're a trendsetter? And then what do you think about trendsetters?
So what do I think about trends? I think it really depends on how you feel. Sometimes I like trends, sometimes I don't. I think sometimes they're interesting trends, sometimes they're scary trends. Yeah, but it's all, it's
do you like those thin glasses that are kind of penetrating the market, the really thin ones that Kim Kardashian and her people started?
So I the jury's still out on that one. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't like it. I'll say right here, right now, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I understand what you mean about trends. it works sometimes.
Yeah, and
and
you have to think about your body type, like who do you want to present yourself as, you know. So it really just depends on the individual. But I think, you know, I hate to sound cheesy, but confidence is like the number one thing. It doesn't matter
obviously,
what you're wearing,
because it looks great on Rihanna. It looks great on I think Courtney. It looks great on a few people, so I think that works. So what's your personal style and how do you describe style?
What's my personal style? I think number one is comfort. So a lot of things I wear, they're not very fitted, they're very loose fitting, because I sort of want to feel like I'm still in bed in a way, like I still have the covers on me, so nothing too tight. And then I really like bright colors. I absolutely love color. Well. Like I don't have a lot of black. Although black can be cool.
Good.
Black can be cool.
I love black.
But I have like mostly like color. It's a very colorful wardrobe, and I really like, you know, I love vintage. I have a lot of vintage. I love things from the past. I love history. I love wearing things that were pre-owned.
I love vintage as well.
I just like the fact that it had a life before it met you. You know. So I love that.
It had a life for
yeah. You know, because obviously when you go into a shop, it's, you know, it's been made in a factory. It's gone to the shop, and then you sort of
you take it, but
then with vintage you don't know, like
like what if you can kind of trace the life before that piece and see
exactly, like it had I like the concept of that. And of course it's great, it's ethical wearing things that have already been earned, because we can't keep buying things and buying things. So what else would I say my personal style is? So comfort, I love color, and then vintage. I think those are the three
things that you like. So what are some trends that you think we need to throw away? Some trends that you feel like should never go away?
So I think, and I guess I would say, I'm not trying to get out of the question, but obviously the West, you know, Europe and America, they're cutting edge fashion, you know, they're the ones that lead the trends. But I always feel that, you know, just because it works there doesn't mean it's going to work here. And I don't even mean in terms of style, I mean in terms of practicality, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with streetwear, but hoodies are cool, but Nigeria is hot. You know, you're wearing a hoodie here, like you can't be that comfortable, right?
Definitely not during the day. It can't be in a very cold office somewhere.
Exactly. So I'm just like, are you comfortable in that? So I guess for me, because my style is, it has to be practical.
Like, comfort,
you know, so I'm
simple.
thinking if you're like in a hoodie, and I love like streetwear and
like boots.
Athletic, athletic wear. I think that it's really cool, and I think it's very, very cool, very, very city, very London, very New York. I like it, but I'm not necessarily sure that all of it is
works
practical here.
So you don't think all trends are kind of translatable to this climate? Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so let's kind of, you know, dabble into other things. How important do you think fabric is to style?
Gosh, I think in Nigeria particularly, fabric is so intrinsic to our culture. You know, in different parts of Nigeria, you know, in the east you have Akwete, in the south you have Ashoke. There's so many different. I mean, that's only two of so many. You know, woven fabric. It's part of our culture, and I think that it's what makes us unique and sets us apart. And yes, it's been very difficult to industrialize, especially woven, because part of it has to be handmade. That's what makes it such a luxury, right? But I think that we should try, and it's not important to everyone, but I think we should try and find ways to make it relevant to our daily style, because obviously it's easier to either, you know, order something online, because a lot of international companies deliver to Nigeria for
like fabrics.
Well, no, so my point is that not everyone, I'm not sure, I mean, obviously I don't have data or research or anything, but I think people prefer the finished product, right? You know, in the market you have your bend down select. It's not every time that you want to it's not all the time that you want to go to a tailor, take your fabric, go to a tailor, you know, go back and forth. I want it this way, I don't want it that way.
Long and dramatic.
But I think part of Nigerian culture is that, you know, indigenous fabric that is woven. So not even just Ashoke or Akwete, but we have Adire. And you know, it manifests in the east. The Adire is slightly different. They have a name for it. I've forgotten. Forgive me, all the people from the east.
You know, research it and put it on screen for the
Yeah,
viewers.
yeah, and then in the north, there's a name. I don't know why these names, but they have their own sort of tie-dye, tie-dye fabric.
So there's different types of tie-dye in different parts.
Yeah,
of
so
the
they
country.
do it slightly different. I mean, it's all the indigo. If it's blue or purple, it's that indigo plant.
Okay.
But they have their different ways of using it and ways of making it.
Okay.
And we have so much. And I think I would love to see more Nigerian designers. I mean, obviously, if you're a creative, do whatever is organic to you. But I feel like if you're looking outward and trying to copy what's going on outside of the country, then you don't stand apart. What makes, I mean, some of our best designers, if you look at Adeola Sego,
I just had a feeling you were going to say that because she uses a lot of...
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, that's this, with her ashoke, the laser cut, the komole part too. That's the name of them. That's the everyone sees it on Instagram. The engagement, the engagement where it's gorgeous and it's unique.
Yes.
It's really unique.
So that's like locally handmade.
It's ashoke. It's ashoke. It's something. She's using ashoke, but she's made it hers. Using the laser cut technique. And that set her apart. I'm sure she's booked for months in advance. So I would like to see a lot more of our own indigenous, creativity in our trends. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm wearing a very, very sort of Western silhouette right now. But you can sort of fuse too. It doesn't have to, you don't always have to wear Rambuba every day to prove that you're Nigerian. You can sort of do a mix.
By Nigerian.
Yeah, by Nigerian. It's, you can do a mix of things, so I would like to see more of that.
Okay. All right, guys, we've learned so much from Miss Ronke Adeola. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come right back, we're going to delve into more interesting topics.
Hello everyone, my name is Christina, the creative head of Catchy Signature.
Hi everyone, this is Omoto Shodami, the creative director of Imado Lagos.
My name is Laide, creative director of Laria Robes.
This is Mosumola from Moshe Couture.
And this is
In Style We Trust.
In Style We Trust.
In Style We Trust.
In Style We Trust.
And we are back. This is still another fabulous episode of In Style We Trust. We're talking about trends today with the lovely Miss Adeola Ronke. I want to talk about this Buy Nigerian thing. Do you think that we're, doing more supporting the Nigerian fashion designers?
As consumers?
Yes.
Yes and no. I think Nigerian consumers are very...
snobbish?
No, obviously there are different demographics, right?
Because not to cut you off, but I have a friend who's like, my aunt would spend £2,000 on a Prada dress, but she won't pay 50,000 naira to a local designer who has to run her gen for 2 days or 3 days trying to get your dress done, go under the hot sun for a couple of hours, traffic. We have more obstacles to get through to kind of get your work finished. So don't you think we're snobbish? Because it's like, I'm not going to pay you 50,000 naira, which is like maybe even less than $200.
Yeah.
But I'm going to spend £2,000 on Prada.
Yeah.
Do you think we're kind of rating other people over our Nigerian, designers?
No, and these are all really valid points, right? It's an ongoing debate. I think every so often on social media, they'll say, why are Nigerian designers so expensive? Why are Nigerians supporting Nigerian designers? It's an ongoing debate because there's so many issues, right? So at the end of the day, no matter how you got your money, whether you work for it or you stole it, although I do not advocate stealing money, especially Nigeria's money, Nigeria's resources, if you earn your money, you have every right to spend it. You can even throw it away after you've earned it, right? You have every right to spend how you want to spend it. However, at the same time, I think that it's an opportunity for designers to really try and close the gap. I mean, it's not easier said than done. You know, of course, I can just come in and tell them, oh, close the gap. There's so much that needs to do, and the industry needs to grow some more, because we have a lot of designers, but in one bracket, you know, I mean, designers that are charging, you know, $1,000, you know, $500, and that is not affordable to a lot of Nigerians. And that's the reality.
I'll tell you that for a
fact. And of course, the industry has come a long way. There's some, you know, the designers are being featured in Vogue. They're being featured in, excuse me, you know, W Magazine and, you know, international publications. So we have the talent, right? We do have the talent, but it's also just, you know, you compare a Chanel is hundreds of years old. You know, it's a heritage brand. And
so you think that they have the right to charge £5,000 at this point?
Yes.
But not a designer just woke up yesterday.
Of course.
And is now charging 70,000 naira, 8,000 naira
for a zip that doesn't necessarily go all the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no, and I'm not afraid to say this, because there are those designers that I remember I was at an event, and Maya Tafo said that Maya Tafo said that a lot of designers, you know, when you've made something with an issue, you know, and the hall was just silent because he was talking to people in fashion and designers.
I like
you know,
that.
He was very frank, he was very honest. But of course it's tough, because there are some designers who are, you know, killing themselves, you know, printing their own fabric. You know, this is Lisa Folawio, you know, she does her own fabric. They're killing themselves. You know, it's a difficult, I think the reality is that it's a very difficult industry. They're amazing American designers, British designers, Australian designers. I mean, Australia, they're having a huge movement There's so many designers coming from there, and they're all competing, you know, for the same market. But I think really where the biggest opportunity is it's not that luxury. I mean, obviously there's people always want something new and fresh, no matter what segment, but I think it's just a few bars under, you know, like we don't have that affordable, you know, every day that, you know, that is not 6 figures, you know.
I think April by Kumbi, I'll say that she kind of closed the gap a little bit. At some point, she had a lot ready to wear, and it was pretty decent. It was like really hot dresses for like 14K, 15K. Sometimes even like 10K, and then obviously upwards if you want something bespoke, you know. So I think there's a few designers that are trying.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I think that's the great thing. That's the challenge, and the great thing about the fashion industry is that there needs to be a lot. You know, then we need more institutions, we need more fashion schools, we need more this. But then there's so many opportunities. You know, it's a lot of hard work. You know, good luck. You know, well done rather to all the people who are, you know, holding it down, and you know, they haven't given up even when their tailors have abandoned them at Christmas, or you know, when, you know, I remember a designer friend of mine. You know, she asked one of her tailors she had done the pattern and asked the tailor to sew it and to cut it a few inches short, and the tailor refused. The tailor said, no, it's against my religious belief, it's too short.
Oh my goodness.
You know, so the designers go through a lot, and I'm not saying that, you know, we should, you know, bring out the violins. You know, you've chosen this occupation, but it's challenging for the consumer, because I think consumers do want that unique Nigerian look. You know, imagine like, you know, wearing some unique designer piece. You know, if you have a wedding, and nobody really knows, you look cool, but nobody knows where it's from. It's not some designer. It's not even like Topshop.
You know, we Nigerians, we love that.
We love to stand out. But at the same time, you know, it's challenging for designers to deliver quality. That's a challenge, and then pricing, like it's such a challenge.
Giving everything.
Yeah.
So I know we're still talking about trends, but I want to digress a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to ask you, why did you leave banking for film?
So banking was never meant to be my destination. I've always been, even before banking, I had done, you know, courses in film. I had worked on Half of a Yellow Sun. Okay,
perfect. That's an amazing award-winning movie there, I see.
Yeah. I did
okay.
all right. Yeah.
I'm with an award winner here, you know?
No, that's the producer's assistant. No, it was a great experience. So film was always what I wanted to do, film and writing. However, I can't totally knock banking. It teaches you structure. It teaches you how to work in a large organization, and you just really respect people who have 9 to 5s. Because of course, you know, in Nigeria, if you stop saying 9 to 5, it's 8 to 8.
Yeah,
you know,
it's always overtime.
Yeah, and our head office was the head office is in a lot of banks. It's in Victoria Island, and people commuting from the mainland. It's not easy. So you get to just understand what different people are going through, even in paid employment, which makes you better off than 80% of Nigerians that don't even have jobs. But even within paid employment, there are a lot of challenges. But even more from a professional perspective, how to write polite emails, which I know sounds really silly. Who doesn't know how to write an email? But how to write, polite emails, how to be accountable, how to, and obviously working in a bank, you do learn a bit more about finances, and I did anyway. Always have a diverse income, income from different things, whether it's a side business or maybe you're investing in someone else's business or you're buying shares. So there was a lot of good, but I've always been a creative at heart. Even in banking, I worked in the communications department. Which was the most creative part of obviously banking. You're coming up with campaigns and things like that.
That would be fun. That sounds like fun.
It wasn't always fun, but because obviously you have to, with banking, you have to be quite conservative. You can't go, you can't go crazy. But I learned a lot. So yeah.
So there are a lot of designers who kind of come to me crying, saying, I really want a chance. I want to showcase at, Fashion Week, Africa's Fashion Week, Nigeria's Fashion Week. Why is no one giving me a chance? What do you advise them to do?
To realize that fashion all over the world is extremely competitive. It's competitive in New York, it's competitive in London, and it is competitive in Lagos.
Nigeria.
Yes, the industry is changing. Social media is your best friend. I mean, there's so many brands that have embraced social media. They don't care if they're in Fashion Week or not. They're selling direct to the customer. They're making money and they're building awareness. And it's a long-term. Fashion isn't a 2-year, 3-year. It's not even a 5-year. It's a 10-year minimum investment. So don't look at, okay, I started in 2018, things aren't going well. 2019, things aren't going well. Have the patience. I mean, people say mentorship is useful. Get yourself a mentor that will help you progress. Read. I think a lot of people in this industry, think that you buy a bunch of magazines and you can do fashion. No, it's a business. It's an art form and it's a business. So no, you're so mean. It's obviously. I mean, look at magazines for inspiration, but magazines aren't really. They can help you with trends. But that's about it. Learn about the business. Learn about the art form. Do courses, ask questions, and don't give up. If you have a dream, definitely go for it. But empower yourself, skill yourself, upskill yourself. And what's the last thing that I will say? Yes, just don't give up. And also don't give up your aesthetic, because as a designer, I'm sure there's something, a particular style you want to be known for, your signature. Is it the fabric like Burberry? Is it, Adire like Makio? Don't cave into, okay, because right now, streetwear is popular. That's what I'll get the money doing.
So
that thing about stay true, because at one point, do you remember when Burberry, there were so many Burberry knockoffs, but they stood strong, stuck to their plaid fabric, and that's their signature. I mean, they do other things, they do things around it, but that's what makes Burberry. So just also don't give in to trends. To a quick trend. You make sure it's a business, and it's also an art form. And last thing I will say, I know I said that was the last thing, you can't do it yourself. Nobody does fashion by themselves. You either need a team, and ideally you need a team and some advisors, because as smart, you may be creative, wonderful, even me with my film and the work that I'm doing, I can't do it by myself. I have people that help me, give me advice, and also connect me with people.
Okay. All right, I learned so much talking to Miss Adeola. I mean, literally, she needs to kind of be a brand expert on a lot of things. Please let the audience know where to find you on social media.
Okay, so please follow my upcoming documentary on social media, on Instagram at Awani Film, and I don't follow my personal page because it's so dry, barely post. But follow my film. I won't even bother telling you my personal page. Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, it's been such a fun episode. I've learned a lot. As with everything, nothing is easy. You have to put in a lot of hard work. You have to put in the years. When people say, "Oh, this person just came yesterday," no one just came yesterday. Everyone had to kind of work their way through. I'm sure one day you get to where you're going, but you have to kind of be patient and you walk your way through it. So for all the upcoming designers who are out there, like Miss Ronke said, don't just follow a quick trend. Try to stick to your guns. Try to find something unique that people can know your brand by. This has been another fabulous episode of In Style We Trust. I remain your girl, Imanse. And for now, till next time, it is goodbye and God bless.
Hello everyone, my name is Christina, the creative head of Catchy Signature.
Hi everyone, this is Omotoso Dami, the creative director of Imado Lagos.
My name is Laide, creative director of Laria Robes.
This is Mosumola from Moshe Couture.
And this is
In Style We Trust.
In Style We Trust.
In Style We Trust.
In Style We Trust.